Hi, Robin of Oxy-Dry. Isn't that a nice view? Actually, we used to live way over there. There's a mountain over there called Black Mountain. Our first house was over there. Anyway, this is an area called Wilden. This is down here is Glenmore Valley. Very nice area. This is very, very high-end stuff up here. This is, the Wilden area. So and this goes up quite a bit higher than where I'm at right now, actually. But anyway, this house is about 4 or 5 years old. Folks that are here have lived here for a couple of years, and the carpet actually has a lot of stains on it. They're probably not all that visible on the camera, but they're all over the place. There's some sort of brownish looking blurry ones, but there's more obvious ones as well. And of course this is suspended in here. So I'm pre-treating what I'm able to see with this. I vacuumed everything, of course. Oh, what's that? Okay. We're doing this room. That's a little indentation on the carpet. Actually, it's a Triexta. I think it's it could be a polyester, but I think it's a Triexta. It is actually quite worn in the traffic areas, doorways, and the steps. And it has a if you look this way, I can see it anyway. It's not really soiled, but I can tell it has been steam cleaned. She hasn't done it since she'd been here for 2 years. She didn't think they did before they moved in, but I would say it's definitely been steam cleaned at least once, maybe twice, because I can see the wicking. Not a lot, but it's definitely there. It has a real dingy, not real dingy, but I can see it just beginning to show up here. We've got a lot of spots here. Now they've got a dog, probably about a 50-pound maybe. He's about the size of a border collie. He's actually looks kind of like an Aussie, but he's actually what's called a Brittany, but kind of like a border collie. Really nice doggy. Really very happy to see me. But apparently, and unfortunately, he likes his bones, and she'd give him bones, and then he'd go up on the landing and gnaw on his bones. And so I've got that to deal with over here. And probably there's some of these spots are from that as well. I talked to her about that, and she realizes that was not a good idea to give her doggy bones and then let him go and chew his bones on the carpet. That's really not a good idea. There's another couple of fairly large, blurry, brownish kind of stains right over here. I don't think that these are. I think these ones were here when they moved in. They have that look, and she didn't. Other than the dogs, where he's chewing on the bones. I don't think that these aren't from the dogs. What I'm getting at, but I can see a bit of something's happened here. It could be maybe the previous people had a dog, maybe. And then I've got this walk-in closet to do, and there's no stains to speak of here. So now I did decide we're gonna try. I'm not sure this is going to be the right choice, but I did bring in a Astro green stripe, and I'm going to give it a try. I'm not sure if it's the right choice in this case, but let's see. Because actually, I used one of these on a job I did yesterday, which I didn't record, but it was an olefin Berber, and it did a very good job. And the pad came up black. It's really quite amazing. even though the carpet didn't look dirty. So what I'm finding is that these work pretty darn good. But I'm going to give it a try, and then I'm going to run over it with I've got an Ironman pad there. We'll do a post over it again after with an Ironman to see if I pick up more than what I pick up with this. So I'm curious. So there's a lot of stains. I've got my normal mix in here, 1.5 ounces of Nanomax per gallon and 1,000 ppm of stabilized ClO2. So let's see how we do. My initial thought is this is really working well, and one reason I figured I would use it is because this carpet does have a little bit of a, has a bit of a pile to it. You can see it's textured carpet, I guess. Once upon a time we might have called this sculpture, but I guess technically it's not. But wow, that actually really looks like it's working really well. Let's go 300 RPM. These Astro turf pads are actually really quite, they're actually quite impressing me. I'm not sure why I even stopped using them, but man, that's doing great. And they're quite thick, and there's no problem, by the way. I know I can hear it now, people, well, you can't clean like that because it won't go, your solution won't go through the pad. Well, you're right, it's not going through the pad. It lands on the outside edge of the pad, and it spins out from there. And the top of the pad, no, it doesn't get soaking wet. I've shown that many, many times. You do this right, and the top of the pad doesn't even get wet. So all those criticisms of this are unfounded. Shower feeding works great without any problems at all if you do it right. I'll come back to that spot. A little spot there. Yeah, this looks like it's cleaning extremely good. Very impressive. If you've watched my videos, you've seen me using these pads more and more lately on commercial work, even residential, and they're working fine. They're expensive in Canada. I pay like $60 or $70 for one of these things. Fortunately, I have a whole pile of them. I managed to find a bunch. I bought an old rotary from somebody, actually a guy I knew, and he had a whole bunch of these green stripe pads with it, so I was very happy to get that. And another machine I bought included more, and so I've got quite a few of them, and I hardly paid anything for them. But I have bought some new ones, and I paid I think it was almost $60 each for one batch, and then another few I was paying about the same, maybe a bit more. So anyway, you can see these are working wonderful. That's crazy. The stains are coming out without any problem. And the nice thing about it is, You know, I've been doing a double, you know, two-step process for the most of the jobs I do for quite a few years now. But sometimes you do a single step, and this, as long as this is performing as it appears to be, will be I'll be able to do a single step in most cases where I might have thought I needed to do a double step. Not that that's really a big deal, but anyway, it's one advantage to having this pad as an option. But the other thing is that I'm not sure if you're able to see it as well as I can, but this carpet, which does have a bit of a pile, the pile is lifting up wonderfully. Once again, dispelling and proving the myth that the rotary flattens a pile to be, well, completely unfounded. It really lifts the pile nicely. And this, the Astro turf does a wonderful job of scrubbing and separating and lifting the carpet pile. Okay, we'll move this back. That's the only thing I have to move. I can see this carpet has dramatically improved. Very, very impressive. I want to make sure I just do another pass over here. This was where all the stains were, or most of them were anyway. And they look like they all came out with virtually no effort at all. You know, one of the nice things about the modern houses is there's way more plugs than we used to find on the older houses. Often you have to go hunting. The older the house, the fewer the plugs there would be. Well, there was a stain there. It came right out, just like that. That is how you do it, folks. Okay, now I'm going to run down here so I don't splatter too much over that way. I'm not adding any more solution. I already laid down a little bit extra there when I went to my first pass there. I'll show you what it looks like out the other side here. See we keep going up and up and up and up and up. Houses go up in value with every step upward. There's some up on the top. That's actually still not the top, but way up at the top there. I've done houses literally up at the top there, and they're multiple $1 million houses and phenomenal views, I tell you. Great sources of tax money for the city. Okay. You know, one of the things to bear in mind for the Triexta carpets, they do actually release stains pretty well. They're more resilient against staining, so they have that going for them, and they do wear better than the straight polyesters as well. Not a lot better, I don't think, but definitely at least a little bit better. Still not a good carpet compared to a nylon or an olefin, but you'd rather have a Triexta than a polyester. To pull some slack here. Again, there were some weird stains here, but sort of color added stains. Could have been pee, maybe, but they look like they're coming out. See something there? I think I see something faintly there. Now if that's urine, then the stabilized ClO2, which I have in the trigger sprayer, which is at 3000 ppm, will almost always remove that. I want to make sure I wipe it off the wood here. Got a bit of a splatter on this. I don't know what this. Okay, yeah, that's real wood too. Wasn't expected to move that, so I will leave it. Okay, let's just go into the closet. So we're almost done with this initial step with the Astro turf pad. There is a definite, quite dramatic improvement to the appearance of this carpet, and I would be I'd be completely satisfied to just clean it with this pad and leave it be. But I do want to do we'll run over it with the Ironman pad because I'm just curious to see. We'll take a look at this pad here, and then I'll still run over it with the Ironman pad just because I'm curious to see if the Ironman pad pulls much more up. I expect it'll pick up something. I mean, anytime you clean like this, if you run over it with another pad, you'll always still pick up something. And that's pretty dirty. It's not terrible. But it definitely needed to clean. Okay. It won't take me very long to do this, but we're curious. Over all the high traffic areas. This will go pretty fast. I can see all the stains have come out. Nothing is remaining. And the wicking film is also gone. This carpet is going to look very, very good. And oh, by the way, I almost forgot. I wanted to mention something here. Now, this is a community called Wilden. And I mentioned the other day I was in a place called Kettle Valley, and then there's Upper Mission and Lower Mission and different areas in Kelowna that are sort of known as sort of different communities. And one of the things to bear in mind is that these communities often have Facebook groups, I guess. And if you can be known in these Facebook groups and recommended, that really helps you out a lot. In fact, these folks had actually moved here a couple of years ago from Calgary. And they moved here to Wilden, and so the homeowner, when she decided she wanted to get the carpet cleaned, she went to the Wilden Facebook group, and there she found Oxy-Dry is the #1 rated carpet cleaner in this area. And I can't stress how important that kind of credibility gives you. It just is a fantastic thing to have that really makes a difference as far as generating work for you and the kind of customers that you really and truly want, especially in areas like this where the people here, they're not, for the most part, going to be reacting to the coupon that comes in the mail or whatever. That's just not the way they think. They're looking for the one that's got the best recommendations and also gives them the quality that they're looking for. And it's never based on price. I mean, these people drive, you can tell because of the cars they drive, for one thing. People don't buy Mercedes and BMWs and Teslas and whatever because they're looking for something cheap. There's something else that motivates them. And that's the kind of customer that we've always actually really wanted to service. It can be difficult because they're going to have high standards and everything, but that's what we want. And I think that with this type of cleaning, it's better to focus on that type of clientele anyway, to market the SETT method as a premium service, a better than average type cleaning, because it is. And if you do that and you market that and you're consistently doing that, then you're going to end up with the kind of customers that expect they expect performance from what you do, but they're not influenced by the cheap price guy anywhere near as much as an average person would be, I guess. There was a bad stain there. That's totally gone. So I'm not going to bother going in the closet. I don't think it needs it in there. There's not with the second step anyway. I really don't think it actually even needs what I'm doing, but again, I just wanted to see whether or not the Ironman pad was going to pick up a obvious or significant amount more than what I wanted to see whether or not the Astro turf, I guess, has left a significant amount behind. I don't think it has. I do expect there'll be something on this pad, but I don't expect there to be much. What we're about to see, because I'm gonna stop and we're gonna take a look. Actually, let's go back to the top of the steps. There's a whole pile of stains there and they're all gone. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look. And the answer is virtually nothing. That's almost entirely just water. That's virtually nothing. That's interesting. Conclusion, the green stripe pad worked fine. Does not need an extraction pad afterwards. It's extracting at the same time, and it got out virtually everything that was there that was removable. Interesting. Okay, I will continue on. I've got to do the steps. Going to do the landing with this machine too, because it's got some nasty stains there. So anyway, I'll let you go. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.